let's check. So we are at stage 7, paragraph page 744. And our last headword was whose, newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's start. Okay, repeat whose.
whose,
Okay, very good. So listen, we use the word whose at the beginning of a relative clause instead of using a possessive adjective like my, your, his, etc. For example, instead of saying the woman's purse was stolen, she is on her way to the police station, we can say the woman whose purse was stolen is on her way to the station. Another example is I know the people whose house is next to mine. Okay, let's practice. When do we use the word whose at the beginning of a relative clause? When do we use the word whose at the beginning of a relative clause? We use
we
the
use
word whose
the word
at
whose
the beginning
at the
of a
beginning
relative clause
of a relative clause
instead of using
instead of
a
using
possessive adjective
a possessive adjective
like my, your,
like my,
his,
your,
etc.
his, etc.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. The woman whose purse
The woman whose purse
was stolen
was
is on
stolen
her way
is on her way
to the police station.
to the police station.
Very good. Do you know the people whose house is next to yours? Do you know the people whose house is next to yours? Yes or no?
Do you know? Yes,
I know the people
I know the people
whose house
whose
is
house
next to mine.
is next to mine.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Stand.
Stand.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word stand is a verb. It means to be good and strong enough to last for a long time or to deal with something unpleasant. For example, I've been somewhere in the world that was so hot that I couldn't stand the heat. I can't stand the noise of someone who chewed their food so loudly. Let's practice. Have you ever been anywhere in the world that was so hot that you couldn't stand the heat? Have you ever been anywhere in the world that was so hot that you couldn't stand the heat? Yes or no?
No,
I've never been
I've never been
anywhere in the world
anywhere in the world
that was so hot
that was so hot
that I couldn't
that I couldn't
stand the heat.
stand heat.
Greg, give me an example of something that you can't stand. Give me an example of something that you can't stand. I can't stand
I can't stand
the heat of summer.
that heat
The
of
one more.
summer.
The heat of summer.
The heat of summer.
Very good. Next, repeat. Room. One more.
Next,
Room.
room.
Solution.
Solution.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word room is a noun. It means a space that can be used or filled. For example, if the number of people always increases, I don't think there will be enough room in the world for everybody. Solution is a noun. It means a fix or an answer or a way to solve a problem. Solution. For example, a possible solution to problems or overpopulation around the world is family planning and birth control. Let's practice. Do you think there is and always will be enough room in the world for everybody? Do you think there is and always will be enough room in the world for everybody? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think there
I
is
think there is
and always will be
and always will be
enough room
enough enough room
in
in
the
the world
world for everybody.
for everybody.
Very good. What might be a possible solution to problems of overpopulation around the world? What might be a possible solution to problem of population around the world? A possible solution
A possible
to
solution
problems
problems
of overpopulation
of
around the
overpopulation
world
around the world,
is family planning.
which,
Is
which
is family planning.
is family plan.
Very good. One more. Family planning.
family planning.
Yeah, family planning means having a plan how many children you will have. Okay, next.
Okay.
Repeat. Get a move on.
Get a move on.
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Very good. Okay, listen. Get a move on means hurry. Hurry up means to do something quickly than normal. For example, when parents tell their children to get a move on, they want the children to do whatever they're doing faster or hurry up. Hurry up, please. Unless we really get a move on, we'll miss our flight. Okay, let's practice. When parents tell their children to get a move on, what do they want the children to do? When parents tell their children get a move on, what do they want the children to do? When parents tell
When parents
their
tell
children
their
to
children
get a move on,
to get a move on,
they want the children
they want children
to do whatever
to
they're
do
doing
whatever they are
faster
doing
or hurry
fa-
up.
faster
Faster or
or
hurry up.
higher.
Very good. Give me another example of the idiom get a move on. Give me another example of the idiom get a move on, please. Hurry up, please.
Hurry up, please.
Unless we really
Unless we really
get a move on,
get a move on,
we'll miss our flight.
we'll miss our flight.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of new work. Let's move on to reading. Okay, so
Okay,
please get your book and open to lesson 117, page 719.
seven 117.
Lesson 117, paragraph
Hi-
page 719.
19. Okay,
Proud,
19.
pride, take pride in.
Okay, thank you. Proud, pride, take pride in. Are you proud of yourself for anything you've achieved during the last couple of years? Yes, I'm
Proud of
I'm
myself.
proud of myself for anything I've achieved during the last couple of years.
Very good.
What? What?
Right, what did you achieve? I achieved
I achieve
higher level
what?
of English.
Higher level of English.
Very good.
Yeah. Do you take pride? Do you take pride in your work?
It means, are you proud of your work? Yes.
Yes, I take pride in my work.
hmm
Importance. Do you think parents should teach their children about the im-
More
about
the
the about the importance of being honest?
being
Yes.
honest.
Being honest. Huh?
Honest.
Honest. Honest.
Uh-huh.
Honest. Yes, I think parents should teach their children about the importance of being honest.
hmm
Anymore, what do you do with
With
clothes?
with clothes,
With what do you do with clothes that you don't wear anymore? I throw away
hmm do,
clothes clothes that I don't
where
wear anymore.
do you throw it away or do you give it or sell?
Mm, mm,
You just throw it
give
away. Give
give away.
give away. One more. I give away
I give away
clothes that
clothes
I don't
that
wear.
I don't wear anymore.
Very good.
Faithful. Are dogs more
Faithful,
faithful
faithful, then to their
faithful
owners,
to, to their owners than cats? Yes, dogs are more faithful
to
to
their.
their owners than cats.
Mhm.
Plain, a taste for colorful. Is it easier to grow food on a plane than on a mountain. Yes, it's easier to grow food on a plain than on a mountain. Why? Because the earth on the plain is usually deeper and richer. What food a thousand years ago generally plainer than it is now. Yes, food a thousand years ago generally
Was
plainer.
generally plainer.
Was generally plainer than it was now.
It is now.
It is now.
Very good.
Do you have more of a taste for plain clothes or for colorful clothes? I have more of a taste
For
for colorful clothes. No, no, no. Plain clothes
than colorful
than
clothes.
colorful clothes.
Very good.
What kind of work does a plain clothes police officer do? A plain clothes police officer does detective work, the kind of work a police officer in uniform could not do because they'd be too easy to notice.
Mm.
Do you think life is easier when people speak plainly to each other? That is, speak
Open.
openly, directly, and honestly to each other. Yes, I think life is easier when people speak plainly to each other.
That is
はい。That is, speak
openly.
openly, directly, and honestly to each other.
Mhm.
Round the bend. What kind of music
Drives you.
drives you round the bend? What kind of music?
Make you crazy.
Heavy metal?
Very good.
Heavy metal drives me round
Round the
the
bend.
bend.
Hmm.
Give me another example of the idiom round the bend, please. If we are giving any more homework, I'm definitely going to go round the bend.
Hmm.
Review. Why do many actors try to avoid reading reviews of plays and films they are in? Many actors try to avoid reading reviews of plays and films they are in because bad reviews make them feel awful and can cause them to dou-
Doubt.
doubt their ability to act. Right now, are we reviewing English that we mm,
Learned
learned
in a
in a previous
previous.
lesson?
Hmm.
Right, I review. Yes, right now we are reviewing English that we learned in a previous lesson.
Very good.
Indirect speech with questions. In
Imperatives.
imperatives and request
Hmm.
questions. What do we do when we change a question
From
from
direct.
direct into indirect speech? When we change a question from direct in
Mama, when we
direct
change a question from
from di- we when we change a question from direct into indirect speech, we move the verb one step back into the past. We use asked instead of said, and we do not use the question form or a question mark.
hmm
Give me an example, please. I asked them what they want wanted to drink. If the question does not contain a question word what, where, etc., we use the word if or I, or whether
Weather. Very
instead.
good.
Whether instead. For example, direct speech. I said, "Are you busy, Emily?" Indirect speech. I asked Emily if she was busy. If the question does not contain, mm, okay. If the question does not contain a question word, what do we use instead? If the question does not contain a question word, we use the word if or
Weather.
whether instead.
Very good.
Give me an example, please. He asked her if she spoke English. We asked the man on the door whether we had to pay for entry to the club.
Hmm.
Now, I will ask you some questions and I want you to tell me what I said. Which which musical instruments can you play? You said me
You
which
ask me.
sorry, you asked me which musical instruments I could play.
Hmm.
Do you boil water in a kettle? You asked me if if I boiled water in a kettle.
Very good.
Have you ever
Swum.
swam with dolphins? You asked me if I had ever swum with dolphins.
Hmm.
Imperatives. Command. What do we do when we change an
Imperative.
imperative form direct into indirect speech? When we change an imperative form direct into indirect speech,
Hmm.
we use told, commanded, or ordered, and we use the infinitive with to instead of the imperative.
Hmm.
Give me an example, please. The king commanded us to leave. My teacher told me to let out loud loud from the book.
Read out loud.
Re- Read out read out loud from the book. With negative imperatives, we put not before the infinitive. For example, direct speech. Don't walk so fast, Jack, said look, look,
Look.
look, Lucy.
Lucy.
In indirect speech, Lucy told Jack not to walk so fast.
Hmm.
With uh, with hmm? with negative imperatives, what do we do? With negative imperatives, we put not before the
Infinitive.
infinitive. Give me an example, please. His mom told him not to get home late. The coach told the team not to give up hope. Now I will give you some orders and I
Want
want
you.
you to tell me what I said. Stand up. You told me to stand up. Don't look at your book. You ordered me not to look at my book. Correct your dictation. You told me to correct my dictation.
Hmm.
Request. What do we do when we change a request
Direct.
from direct into indirect speech? When we change a request from direct into indirect speech, we use asked and we can use the same constructions that we use for indirect questions or
Imperatives.
imperatives.
Very good.
Give me an example, please. We asked them if they could show us the way. We asked them to show us the way. Now I will make some questions and I want you to tell me what I said. Could you lend me your book, please? You asked me if I could lend you my book. You asked me to lend you my book. Would you help me with my baggage, please? You asked me if I would help you with your baggage.
Mhm.
You asked me to help you with your baggage. Will you be quit, quiet, quiet,
Quiet.
quiet, quiet? Will you be quiet for a moment, please? You asked me if I could be quiet for a moment. You asked me to be quiet for a moment.
Okay. Very good. So that's the end of reading. Let's move on to revision.
レビューション。はい。
Okay, here we go. So, what does it mean if we say that we are used to something? What does it mean if we say that we are used to something? If we say
If we say
that we are used
that we are
to
used
something, it
to
means
something, it
that it
means
is not strange
that it is not strange
or uncomfortable
or uncomfortable
for us anymore
for us anymore
because we have
because we have
experience of it.
experience of it.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. He's lived
His live
on that busy street
on that busy street
for many years.
for many years,
So he is used
so he is used
to the traffic noise.
to the traffic noise.
We could name a region of the world where people aren't used to seeing snow. Name a region of the world where people aren't used to seeing snow. Uh,
サウジアラビア
very good. Is a region
is
of
origin
the world
of the
where
world
people aren't
where people aren't
used to seeing snow.
used to seeing snow.
Very good. When a family moves to a new town, do you think it's easier for the children to get used to everything than it is for the parents? When a family moves to a new town, do you think it's easier for the children to get used to everything than it is for the parents? Yes or no?
Yes,
When a family
when a family
moves to
moves
a new town,
to a new
I
town,
think it's easier
I think it's
for
easier
the children
for the
to
children
get used to everything
to get used to everything
than it is
than it
for
is
the parents.
for the parents.
Very good. Why do we put the gerund after the expression to be used to? Why do we put the gerund after the expression to be used to? We put a gerund
We put a gerund
after the expression
after the
to be
expression
used to
to be used to
because the word to
because the word to
is a preposition.
is a preposition.
Very good. Okay. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. At first,
At
it
first,
was difficult,
it was
but
difficult,
now I'm used to
but now I'm used to
getting up early.
getting up early.
Very good. Okay. Next. Are you used to studying with the Callan method? Are you used to studying with the Callan method? Yes, I'm used
Yes,
to
I'm used to
studying with
studying
the
with
Callan method.
the Callan method.
Right? Do you think you could ever get used to living in a country where your language wasn't spoken? Do you think you could ever get used to living in a country where your language wasn't spoken? Okay, but we stop there for